Hey there, how are you? It is a very hot and humid evening here in New Jersey. So if I'm sweating, it's hot and humid here. Um, but I'm so happy to spend a few minutes with you and to share some information, maybe put something in a perspective that you hadn't thought of before. So if you are listening, this is streaming in multiple places. I would love to know. You can say hello. I may not see every comment as it comes in, because some places I won't see, so I'll go back later and check. But please say hello. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. Okay, so today, and again, I try to keep this short and sweet, 15, 20 minutes tops. But today, what I wanted to talk to you about was the chief operating system of your body, and not only your physical body, but of your life. Because if you can get that handled, you can change everything. You can change how your health is. You can change how your body ages. You can change how often you get sick. You can change the circumstances of your life, right? So that chief operating system of your body is your autonomic nervous system. So here's how I'm going to lay it out. And I hope that this is going to make it kind of easier to understand. So if you had a company and you had two COOs, chief operating officers, right? I've never had a corporate job, but I know that's what they're called, right? So you have two guys who are running the company. The company is you, your body, and your life. You have two guys running the company, both COOs, equal level, and they are the autonomic nervous system. So the two of them together make up this system called the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic, you can think of as automatic. So these two guys, this one is Jim and this one is Bob. And Jim and Bob have very different purposes, yet at the same time, together, their purpose is to keep your body and your life in homeostasis, to keep you balanced. So all of the parts of your body that are working, their job is to keep you balanced. So Jim, he's in charge of running all of the systems of your body when you are happy and calm and you're rested and you're not upset about anything. So that's the rest and digest, also called the parasympathetic branch of your autonomic nervous system. But we're just going to call him Jim. Okay. Hi, Facebook user. I don't know. It doesn't show your name, but hi, thanks for popping on. So we're just going to call him Jim. But Jim is the parasympathetic branch of your autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is the company or you. Okay, let's go with that. So Jim's job, keep everything running smoothly. Oh, good. Keep everything going smoothly. I said, oh, good, because somebody said I'm learning. Sorry. I'm like talking to the comments, but you can't see them. Keep your immune system. So the immune system is very well developed. It's an amazing mechanism. And when things come in that need to be handled, Jim says, okay, immune system, go handle that. Your digestive system, also amazing, breaks down food, absorb nutrients, all of the things it needs to do, eliminate out toxins and waste. Reproductive system, all of those hormones to create new life. So all of those systems are going to be under Jim's governing. Jim is going to handle them, but he can only do it when you're in rest and digest. He can only make those systems work their best when you are not in stress. Now, Bob is also the COO. There's two branches. Bob's job is to kick in and take over when your life is threatened. Really, when your life is threatened. Not when you got an upsetting email, not when the bills are due, not when you have a fight with your partner, not when you're stuck in traffic. That's not when Bob is supposed to take over. He's really meant, the way that this company is set up, the way that we are designed, is Bob should take over all the decisions and all of the systems when your life is threatened. But in modern day times, our life isn't not really that often that threatened. It's most of the time all those other things that I just mentioned. And yes, lots of times there are things that but even, let's just say, even like you were in a real financial bind and you got a notice that your house was going to be foreclosed on. Even in that situation, they're not at your front door now saying, get out. You have like a month or however long that is, I don't know, but you have some length of time. So even in those situations, it's not really like your life is threatened, like, oh my God, I need to run now. Okay. So that's an important thing to remember. So when Bob takes over, his job is to run or fight. That's or freeze. If it's safer for you to just freeze and hide, whatever it is, run, fight, or freeze. Jim says, okay, Bob's in charge now. The company is under the situation where Bob's handling it. So I need to shut down all of my systems. I need to stop digesting food. I need to stop the hormones from doing what they're doing. I need to shut down the immune system. This is not a time for us to fight a virus. This is a time for Bob to have all our resources. So we're going to send all our workers, all our energy is going to go to Bob. And Bob is going to use those resources to handle the fight or flight, whatever needs to be handled. Now, in that situation, the way this company is set up, the way the human body is set up, is Bob should handle that. That's the sympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system. Yes, shallow breathing. So somebody just said that's when we're doing shallow breathing. Shallow breathing is one of the signs that you're in fight or flight, because you're going to breathe short, fast breaths in order to run. You don't do slow, deep breaths while you're running. So that's a sign that tells you I'm in fight or flight when I'm breathing like that. So the way it's set up is Bob is supposed to take over, handle the problem, and then tell everybody, okay, shut down, send all the resources, all of the energy back to Jim. Let's get back to business as usual. Let's get back to healing. Let's get back to digesting. Let's get back to scavenging through the body and finding things that shouldn't be there and getting rid of them. Let's give all of our resources back to Jim. And Jim should be handling 95% of the company on a day in, day out basis. But that's not how we live, right? We live most of the time in panic mode, rushing over scheduled stuff, conflicts with people, whatever it is, we live there. And then maybe we try to do a yoga class 2 or 3 times a week, or maybe we take a bath for 20 minutes at the end of the day and try to relax. So we give Jim back resources for 20 minutes to make all the systems of the body try to get back online. And the additional problem with that is they can't get back online for just that 20 minutes. Your body starts to not know how to send resources back to Jim's side. Your body starts to not remember how to shut down your nervous system response. And then you're stuck there, even if you don't need to be. You're stuck. The other piece of this is the biggest thing that's going to put you into fight or flight. Well, let's talk about all of them. What would put your body into stress mode? Okay, we need to give all our resources over here because we're in trouble. Well, it would be anything in the environment that's harmful, right? So chemical toxins your body needs to deal with. That would be a stressor for your body. Also, anything biological, that would be bacteria, viruses, things like that. Okay. Also, physical stressors. You're in a car accident, right? Even if you're not severely hurt, and if you were, it would be even worse, but you're in a car accident. That's like a trauma to your physical body. So you have physical, chemical, biological, and then the last category is emotional. And this is the most important one, because you can be very careful about not having products in your house that have a lot of chemicals, right? So most of the time you're not really in touch with those. You can hopefully very rarely have a physical trauma, car accident or something like that, a ski accident, falling while you're walking your dogs. That would be me. But hopefully those things, don't happen all that often. But what's the one thing that does happen every moment of the day is your thoughts and your feelings. You're constantly thinking and you're constantly feeling. And so your thoughts and your emotions have the hugest influence on whether Bob is taking control or whether Jim is in control. And we get stuck in thinking and feeling in ways that keep us in fight or flight. We get stuck there. So it might just be regular looping patterns of worry, anxiety, things like that, that you can't shut off. It might be things that happened to you a long time ago. You grew up in an alcoholic household, and so it wasn't safe when you were a kid, and you had to figure out how to navigate that, but you were only 8 years old or 12 years old, whatever it was. And that gets stuck in your body. Or you were married for 20 years and your partner had an affair and now you're divorced. All of that is going to contribute to your thoughts and feelings and keep you stuck. Even if during the day, yes, so somebody says rehearsing an unhappy past or incident. Yes, even if during the day you're like, I don't really feel that stressed. It was a good day today. But that stuff stays in your body and keeps your autonomic nervous system. It keeps your chief operating system sending its resources to one branch and pulling resources from the other branch. So when I started this out by saying, if you can figure this out and navigate how to do this, how to get your resources back over to Jim, it will change your health. Your immune system will work better. It will be more consistent. Your digestive system, which is also a big part of your immune system. The digestive system is very much part of the immune system. So it's going to contribute to how well the immune system works. They work together. You know, I'm sure you've heard stories of people who tried to get pregnant. As soon as they stopped trying and took the stress off them, it happened, right? The reproductive system is going to work better. Every system of your body. And so the way that we age, the way that our bodies, we don't have to age and have a ton of issues. But when we stay in a place where the body can't really handle the issues as they come up, they accumulate. We can't really manage the inflammation because Jim doesn't have the resources to do that. Bob has all the resources. So now inflammation takes over in your body. So chronic inflammation is a very big source of health issues. And why is everybody so inflamed? Well, we have not great food a lot of the time and things that cause inflammation, but we also haven't given Jim the opportunity to handle it because we're stuck in fight or flight. Okay, so I just wanted you to understand. And sometimes I feel like I'm talking with people and they're like, the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic, parasympathetic, it can be confusing if it's not what you've studied in school. And so I thought, let me just break this down in a way that maybe you can understand, right? You've got two COOs and you just want to give the resources to the place where you want it to go most of the time and only use the other thing as a fallback in case something bad happens and then you need it. Okay? Can chronic inflammation lead to obesity? Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, the dog. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but he's wailing downstairs. Chronic inflammation is a big issue with obesity. So if you don't handle that, changing your calories in your diet, if you eat better, it should help with inflammation, but changing your calories in your diet is not going to really get you the weight loss that you want until you get that inflammation under control. Autoimmune conditions, all of that. Here's my dog. Why were you crying, honey? Just because, Mom, you were on a live, so it was time to cry. Anyway, if there's any other questions, I'll take a second here if you want to ask anything else. And I mean, I'm a functional health practitioner, and for a long time in my own issues, I've had 4 autoimmune conditions. And I really looked at, you're welcome. She said, thank you. I really looked at why does that keep happening? And that's why I kept going back to school, because for me, taking a prescription wasn't the answer. I wanted to know why my body was not working the way it was supposed to work. And it was actually when I got the best understanding of my autonomic nervous system, this master controller. And then there's some really important parts to that. Um, and understanding that my past and my thoughts and emotions were the biggest thing. And now that's really where I like to spend my time and where I do most of my work with people, because thoughts and feelings are happening every moment of the day. You can't shut your brain off, right? It's going to keep going, and your feelings are going to stay there until you learn how to clear them out. So I can get rid of toxins. I can avoid having a car accident. I can, clean up my environment. And I can eat as healthy as food as I can. But if I don't address the cocktail of thoughts and emotions that I live in every moment, it is not going to fully help me. Okay. And then it can really actually help reverse a lot of things. And it also, I didn't really talk much about it, but it also affects your relationships. It affects the quality of your life and how happy you are. And maybe we'll talk about that on Thursday. That will be the Thursday's topic. I'll refer back to this for people who didn't hear it, and then I'll go more into that, because today we mostly talked about the physical. But let's talk about why it affects your relationships and your happiness when Bob is running the show instead of Jim. Okay? All right. So I will see you hopefully on Thursday. And yeah, thanks for stopping in. And I'll check all the places where this is streaming. So if I see any other comments, I'll make sure to answer them. Okay. Stay cool. If it's hot where you are, it's hot where I am. And I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.